What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the 5280 podcast on the MHRT Network. I'm your host, as always, Mundungus Creevy, alongside Cameron Parker, Gage Madrid, and Glenn Hauser. Make sure you head on over to the MHRT YouTube page, hit that like, subscribe, thumbs up, and go ahead and hit that join button if you'd like to get some extra perks. All the options are right there on the page. You can also head over to Broncos Syndicate, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, and the join button over there. That is hosted by Gage Madrid. Has all of your Denver Broncos news. Make sure you tune into mainly Broncos Wednesday Night with Cameron Parker. He's the host of that show. Glenn still got nothing. How you guys doing?
A Twitter account that he's been posting on more and more. Gotta give the credit where it's due, man.
Thank
that
you,
Twitter
Gage.
account's epic.
All right.
These Russian bots love me, man.
They love him so much they're liking tweets from 5 years ago. It is amazing.
I got a Russell Wilson tweet like 5 years ago.
They'll expose all of Cam's old Paxton Lynch tweets.
Yeah, right.
They don't have to. Cam does that himself, strangely.
True. He needs old ticks exposed.
So how are we feeling after another victory that brings it to 11 in a row?
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean it's one of those, it is one of those games where what more can you say? You know, like what more can you say? And I mean the Denver Broncos did everything you could have asked for. I mean, yeah, it was at home and you know, and the team really took care of business when it mattered. And I think that if there's anything that, you know, for prognosticators on the national stage, I would just ask them exactly what I said. What more do they need to show you? Because that was, I mean, I guess if we're going to go off of the biggest ifs, because the Broncos are ifs, according to these national prognosticators, is that like for every single game, there's been quantified by an if. So now we get to this Packers game, you know, which is arguably one of the best teams in the NFC, maybe even the entire NFL. And there's been some stupid barometer of, are the Denver Broncos a Super Bowl caliber team and whatnot? Well, you face a team that is, you know, probably you may or may not see in the Super Bowl. You beat them. You actually shut them out for the most part in the second half, 20-3 in that second half, and basically shut out Jordan Love and made him one-dimensional, the entire Packers offense one-dimensional. So I ask again, what more do you need to actually see for the Denver Broncos to not be Super Bowl contenders in your eyes? If you don't see it that way, you're the real fraud. And I'm telling you right now, you're the real fraud if you don't believe the Denver Broncos are actual Super Bowl contenders at that point.
And just to further that point, I mean, to think that there are people out there still calling Bo Nix a fraud. The performance that we saw from him in that game was spectacular. He was locked in from the first quarter on, man, and he was making elite second, third level layered throws. He was making throws off schedule like mad. I mean, he looked like Patrick Mahomes out there. He really did, making these off-body, cross-platform throws. I mean, he was freaking incredible. And Rastafarian Eagle's going to say that we faced a shitty secondary. It doesn't matter that you faced a shitty secondary. Bo Nix making those kind of throws, I don't care who you're facing, those were special elite throws.
And right from the get-go, things were looking good. And the fact that this was a game that featured Michael Bandy catching a touchdown pass, little Jordan Humphrey catching a touchdown pass, Pat Bryant not playing. Like, Bo has a 4-touchdown game, 300 yards, a resounding victory, and no Pat Bryant. Just makes you a little bit excited for these next few weeks in the playoffs.
Well, and I think that the thing that just is so incredible about all of this when it comes to even the Bo Nix layers, it's like, so now Bo Nix has 2 victories under his belt against 2 top 5 defenses. 2 top 5 defenses. So any of the stupid comments that are rolling in about, you know, how soft the secondary was for the Packers, go look up their statistics. And every single defensive metric, they were arguably top 5 in everything. That defense was stacked top to bottom from the beginning of the game. They had the best defensive player in the world, Micah Parsons. I mean, like, and they had everything at their disposal from the start of the game, and even without Parsons, still they were a great defense, right? Like they had a great defense still in Green Bay. Xavier McKinney is no slouch, right? I mean,
No, not at all.
not a slouch. He's an impending free agent, by the way. But like, and Edgerrin Cooper, a rookie, has been playing his balls off, if you will, with the Green Bay defense. He is just the defense up and down is a terrific defense, and so to give credit where credit is due, everybody did their job for the Denver Broncos, and it wasn't just Bo Nix; it was everybody. I mean, that was some of the best pure games we have seen from the overall team, maybe this entire season, from everybody. I mean, Troy Franklin had his best game as a Denver Bronco. That Colts game, I mean, you could even argue, yeah, the Colts game had a good statistic game, but that was his best actual game. No drops, no anything. I mean, it was crisp everywhere, like in and out of his breaks. He was torching some really solid corners from the Green Bay Packers getting open. Courtland Sutton, the guy that is just like absolutely just discriminated so many times by Bronco fans, and even sometimes in the national media, had one of his best games against some elite corners. You know, like I just think like it has really just been absolutely amazing to see what kind of performance the Broncos put up against the Green Bay Packers. And frankly, the sign of really pathetic comments in the chat is the sign of the Broncos are good again. So this is a good one.
It's true. It's true, man. We're bringing the trolls out.
Yeah.
Why would Jeff say idiots ruining the pod while Cam was giving a point? I just feel Cam, I'm sure I wouldn't take it personally, Cam. Sorry.
What happened to all those Cam Blazers from a couple weeks ago, man?
I know, right? And we were so concerned with Pat Bryant out about how we were going to do with Troy Franklin, and is Lil Jordan Humphrey going to pick up the reps that Pat Bryant would normally get? Troy Franklin had a fantastic game.
Amazing.
No issues. In the last 3 games, he's had 2 misses. Lil Jordan Humphrey showed out. I think the receiving core is finally starting to figure it out.
I mean, it was one game. But I mean, yeah, Gage, I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah. I want to do an exercise here with Mr. Rastafarian's point.
Oh, boy. The long one?
Yep.
Well, you
We
can have
do it a little later if we want to.
Mahomes can't even play right now, so have fun with
Yeah,
that.
seriously.
His
But
Rivers on there. Yeah.
Rivers, we got Jalen Hurts, we've got Caleb, Rice, Shuck. I mean, I can name some quarterbacks I'd rather. I mean, if I'm being objective and honest, like Mahomes, let's see, Drake, Josh, Lamar, Burrow, maybe Jaden if he's healthy. That's about fucking it, man, out of this list. And Stafford. That's about it out of this list, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Remember last season, Jaleel helped us out big time. He'll be unleashed in the playoffs. And that was another thing was RJ Harvey, not so much Jaleel McLaughlin. He was there, but RJ Harvey definitely showing the improvement, able to run up the middle, able to get outside, still able to in the red zone. He's a dominating weapon. He
is really, really good. I mean, the statistics aren't gonna necessarily show it per se, like how good of a game RJ Harvey has had, but like frankly, ever since he's gotten the starting job, he's kind of been trending upwards in a much better direction. For his overall development, the pass pro has been better. And the fact is the vision, has been so much better, like inside and out of the tackles. I also think that the Broncos' overall scheme has helped him out tremendously. I feel like, at the beginning part of the season, they had been doing a lot of like, I want to say it was like inside zone or something, but now you're starting to kind of get a little bit more outside zone, even some read option, which is getting him more in space and allowing him, to utilize that space, whether it be inside the tackles or outside the tackles. And they're even doing a lot of those duo plays now, and even the toss plays for him, which is getting him outside in space. So, like, I just think it's been absolutely like tremendous what we're seeing, with RJ Harvey and his development.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, responding to Jeff.
Gotta get rid of those trolls, man.
I did. All right. So the other part of this is looking on the defensive side of the ball. We had a couple picks with PS2 and Riley Moss, even after that bullcrap call that they got on Riley Moss.
Crazy eyes, yeah.
I mean,
was a terrible call, and I don't know who tweeted it, but they said Riley Moss is now being called penalties for being Riley Moss. Like this reputation preceding himself is just unbelievable. Like,
what happened again? Guess who threw the flag?
The referee that was far away from the play. Like, couldn't even see the damn play. And it didn't happen until 5 full seconds after the whistle was blown. I mean, it was ridiculous. We were all celebrating a big play, and out of the corner of my eye, I see that yellow laundry fly, and the stadium lost it. We all freaking lost it. And based on Sean Payton's comments in his presser on Monday, whoo, man, he was not pleased. That was such a soft, petty-ass fucking call, man. I cannot believe that Riley Moss is getting discriminated like that. It's a reputation flag. It's yet another reputation flag. The flag was thrown with perfect form. Yeah, for real, dude. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was one where it was just like you could probably count now on your finger, like the amount of times that they've actually thrown flags on Riley from the opposite side. Like I think we've already counted 3, right? And so like we're now getting to the point where it's almost full hands worth as far as the times we've seen Riley get called for pass interference from a referee that's been from that opposite side. It's just getting so ridiculous, and frankly, it's getting ridiculous to even some of the points and times where even for the Riley Moss haters still, they're even trying to, pick out the fact that maybe it's really bad coverage still at times with Riley Moss. And even then, like, you're starting to kind of see it leak over to other areas, like I saw it a little bit too with Dre Greenlaw's, coverage and everything, yeah, exactly. And
did you see that play, Gage? Could you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right away. I was right behind it, man. And you could tell he was restricting his left arm. Like, there was no chance for Ingram to catch it. And once they showed it on the Jumbotron, again, the stadium just lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the commentary from Romo was pathetic. Like, it was just like, he was Nance was trying his hardest to basically prove to Romo that was a flag. And, Romo's like, well, it was behind the line of scrimmage, and
he's holding his arm, bro.
Yeah. So it's just like, guys, like, if he's committing a penalty, I don't care if he's like behind the line of scrimmage or not. If he's committing a penalty, that should be a penalty, And Parsons was literally holding, Ingram, So
he must stop pulling his arm down.
While we talk about officiating blunders, for the second time this year, a potential touchdown for the Broncos has been taken off the board because of a premature whistle blow, which is not reviewable, by the way. That Jaleel play from a few weeks ago, I think it was the Chiefs game where, he very clearly wasn't down and they didn't blow the whistle, or they blew the whistle prematurely. And then in this game, Troy Franklin, very clearly not down. They blow the whistle, and they take a touchdown off the board. Thankfully, Denver scored on that drive. Otherwise, we would have been rioting here in the Mile High City.
Yeah, but that would have added to Troy's epic day. We were very hard on him even just last week. And for him to come out, these hands catches, Bo was whipping them to him. He had such confidence in Franklin, but just that heads up play where he rolled over and did go into the end zone. I mean, that would have been a nice exclamation point to his day. But that was not the only time where the Broncos rolled over and kept a play going. It was it Atkins that later on in the game that had that same type of situation where, I mean, this is the headsy type of play where you're realizing that these guys are really into the game and they're knowing whether they're down or not. I can't remember who the other. Do you remember a second play that happened where they rolled over and almost to first down? I can't remember who it was.
Wasn't that Mims?
The second play of the game?
No. It was
he was running it towards the first down, met two guys, rolled, and then fell over the first down line. They marked him short.
I think you're talking Ingram.
Yeah. Trying to remember because I just rewatched the film today. I'm trying.
I want to say it was Ingram, Glenn, because that was the one where
okay.
Bo,
yes,
I think
it was Ingram.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the one where Bo made the ridiculous throw to Ingram and Ingram one-handed it, and then he fought for the. I actually thought that was a first down on second watch again, but yeah.
That throw by Bo when Parsons got hurt, was that the throw to the touchdown to Franklin?
No.
That was
beautiful.
That one was pretty. That one was very pretty. But this one was the one where he juked Parsons in the backfield and then threw that one, just kind of flipped it over to Marvin Mims, and then Mims made a couple guys miss and picked up a first down on it. Really sick play by Bo. I'm really bummed that Micah got hurt on that. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but it was a sick play by Bo.
Yeah, and did you hear when Ryan Clark was talking about it? Where everyone was getting all mad, like, oh, he's blaming Bo. No, he's not. I mean, he is, but he's saying, the reason that Bo hurt Micah is because Micah was having to chase him because Bo's not going to make it easy to sack him.
It sounds really bad. No, I get it. It sounds really bad when Clark says it that way. And, I'm not a Ryan Clark fan by any means. But it's right. It may not be something you say out loud, but it's just the move itself caused Parsons to just do a jump, cut, if you will. And because of that, his knee popped. And when the knee popped, that's when he tore his ACL. And it was just a really unfortunate, situation for him. But I think, just the Bo Nix conversation is just amazing because it's I think every single week we have just seen the growth of him and how far he's come as a quarterback, just strictly, since the bye week. And I want to reference, obviously, the big title that we had, the title that we had last week, right? Where we said Bo Nix is MVP, right? With the exclamation mark at the end. I gotta say, that's the kind of performance, right? That is the kind of performance, that you put him in a conversation with MVP and he has that, in these next couple weeks. I would be very shocked if Bo Nix is not at least a finalist for this, for this team. I would be very shocked if Bo Nix is not a finalist. I mean, because that was such an MVP type of performance from Bo, with what he was able to do, go literally toe to toe with Jordan Love, who frankly even some people had been mentioning in that MVP type of conversation, and he. This is not a baseball chat, pal. This is not a baseball chat.
It can be. I just don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch baseball that much.
Yeah, this is not a baseball chat. Jay Beener's Seattle Mariner, former Seattle Mariner. But no, it's just as things are progressing, Bo has clearly gotten better each and every week and doing things and impressing with off script. And I think that Sean himself, Sean himself and Bo Nix are evolving. This offense itself is evolving, right? And I think that you're really starting to see this high level offensive performance from the Broncos to where you're seeing this unbelievable blend of Bo Nix in and out of structure, which is everything that the Broncos fans and frankly, even the team should be so excited about, because we've seen him, how good he is as a processor in structure when his feet are set. Now you're starting to see him be comfortable because he's under center and he's able to be on the run. And frankly, at this point in this, where we're at in the last 4 weeks, there may not be a better quarterback on the run right now in the last 4 weeks than Bo Nix. He is unbelievable right now in how he's performing in and out of script.
I couldn't agree more, man. We've already known that Bo Nix could play well in structure. It just needed to be more consistent, and it's gotten more consistent as weeks have gone on. But out of structure, the throws that he has been making, the elite ball placement, that touchdown to little Jordan Humphrey, the touchdown to Troy Franklin, another throw that he made on a scramble drill to Troy Franklin, yet another throw that he made on a scramble drill where he literally circled all the way across the damn field. I think that was to Franklin as well. I mean, dude, we saw Bo Nix take his game to the next level in that performance. I mean, he was locked in and handled pressure really well and handled the Packers' zone defense really well. Like, all of these things, he passed every single test.
Yeah. Mike?
What?
No, you're
Where the hell go?
You probably had to go see a man about a horse.
Glenn's probably taking a poop. That's why I put it in the group chat. Now, I do want to go from the Micah Parsons injury, which obviously is season ending. He's going to be done. That also puts the Packers, the playoff hopes in question, I guess, especially with the Bears right there. But we also had an injury for the Broncos in Brandon Jones. Now, didn't we already have an injury to one of our other backup safeties for Jones, or no?
No, we did not.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we did or not. You wonder if Denver needs a safety for a little bit. There's a guy sitting out there in Denver still that might not be able to wear his old number again, but I wouldn't mind having him back on the team. Let's call him Justin Simmons.
Yeah, I would be celebrating if that were to happen. I'm sure I wouldn't be the only one. But I would be remiss if I would say that that's not going to happen. Don't expect that to happen. I think that listen, obviously, for everybody that knows and for everybody that's been following along with the show knows I'm a huge Justin Simmons fan. But it's one where I if it happens, it happens, and it's one that I will be very, very happy with. You know, they would probably have to be signed to the practice squad and then get activated and everything. But I will say that there is a angle of this that I think is going to be one that would be worth monitoring. And it's not the PJ Locke situation. Even though, to PJ Locke's credit, I thought that he played really, really well in that second half. He was one of the main reasons why. I shouldn't say main reason, but he was one of the reasons why they were able to shut down the Packers and outscore them 20-3 in the second half. Jahdae Barron. I actually think Jahdae Barron is the biggest winner, if you will, of this Brandon Jones injury, because now it's going to allow him to see the field a little bit more and maybe cause them to be a little bit more chest piecey when it comes to just having Barron on the field. Because then you have Barron and McMillan, and Talanoa Hufanga, which are basically three different chess pieces you could use, in terms of your corner and safety secondary type. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. If they do play PJ Locke, great. I mean, he's a good depth piece, but I think that the one that is the true chess piece of them all, the way that it can elevate this defense going forward, is going to be in Jahdae Barron, your first-round draft pick.
I love that, because you think about Barron, he could definitely be one of those Joker-type players on defense, just like Hufanga already is. And just think, if you've got somebody in that Joker role that you can literally switch on both sides at the safety position, that could get a little bit scary. So I love that. And that's not something I thought about. But like you said, PJ Locke did play really well in the second half of that game. He barely had any players where you noticed him, and that's a good thing for a safety. That means he's doing his job back there. So I'm very pleased with PJ Locke, and I think that if he has to start moving forward, Denver's going to be okay. But I do love the Jahdae Barron angle of it. I really do.
Yeah. Big Tex brings up Bandy. He did have a touchdown in this game. Does Bandy stick around, and does he go back on practice squad once we get Pat Bryant back? Man, I almost forgot his name.
I mean, he's back on the practice squad already. That was just a one-game elevation, but I mean, he's stuck around this whole time for a reason. The Broncos clearly like him, and they think that he provides something to this team. So I don't know, man. Maybe he'll get some more opportunities moving forward. I'm kind of hoping that we get Bryant back this week, though.
I'm also hoping we can at least get a chance to see Elijah Moore at some point.
That too.
But
right?
But no, I mean, kudos to Bandy. I mean, what a story. His Ring of Fame moment happened against the Green Bay Packers. The training camp darling had his touchdown, and I mean, it was a great design by the staff. Hey, you had a mesh concept, if you will, with Bandy, and then you get a chance to use Bo's legs where he can either run for the first down, and it caused the defender to basically just move forward, and because of that, he cleared a route for Bandy to get open, and Bandy was wide open with a wide open lane to get in for the touchdown. So it was well operated and well schemed by the Broncos for Bandy. And I will say on that touchdown, I thought it made me laugh out loud, but I thought it was amazing how heady both Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix are, just as far as and I think it just goes to show you just how they overall tick, because that's what separates some of these guys is just how they even tick, just even for the small things. The moment that Bandy scored, and Bandy was just so ecstatic that he scored, and he throws the ball down, and both Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix take a beeline to the football so that they could grab the football and give it to Michael Bandy. So I just thought it was one of those moments where I kind of laughed. It was just all in real time of no, get the football, get the football. So I thought it was a great moment for Michael Bandy.
Anything else you want to cover about the Packers-Broncos game?
I mean,
our pass rush once again. It took them a while to get going, man. But in that second half, 3 sacks on the day. Jonah Ellis, Dondre Tillman, the JV squad, if you will, they're getting involved and getting some action up front. But that's not to say that Nick Benito, Zach Allen, and Jonathan Cooper didn't make their presence known. They very much did, especially in that fourth quarter where it just felt like they were consistently collapsing the pocket on Jordan Love. Love had no time back there, and it was pretty ridiculous at the end, man. And I thought the coverage unit, they played great. Linebackers also stepped in and played a really solid game. There wasn't really a whole lot to complain about as soon as they got their stuff together. It took a while, but afterwards, man, they were playing some really sound football.
Well, and it's 2 games in a row that we're seeing the offense the way we thought we were going to see it, right? We're not having those offensive struggles that we had before the bye, right after the bye. We finally have it figured out. The offense is kind of leveled out, and now we're starting to see what we thought we were going to see in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this, I know we've been criticizing the defense, since the bye week. And they didn't exactly have the best first half.
No.
Right? And they didn't have the best first half, but that was a very, very impressive second half adjustment by Vance Joseph. And I think that one of the things that was so impressive was the Broncos schematically were a big man team, right? We're a big man press type of team. And so for Vance Joseph to smartly realize that, wow, Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League against man coverage. He's kind of dicing us up right now in this first half. How can we be able to change this? So he changes it to the way that they've been running zone. And I believe it was in the second half or something, but they ran a lot of zone in that second half. And obviously Jordan Love paid for it. Like, Love was not as effective. I mean, he was flustered. The defense was getting to him. They finally were creating that pressure. So as much as the defense, we've been criticizing them for the last couple of weeks, they closed in an overall second half. So like they were able to finally get a chance to bottle up Love, get to him, pressure him, create turnovers. So fantastic to see both Pat Surtain and Riley Moss get interceptions in this game. I mean, it was impressive to see.
Yeah,
And I love
go ahead, Glenn.
I was going to say, I love the comment from Mega Sam Miller. You know, the Broncos are probably the best conditioned team in the league. They pull away late.
Makes you wonder.
You know, if you're hearing Sean just in recent pressers, he's mentioning the altitude. He's mentioning 5280, and he wasn't talking about us, unfortunately, but that would have been nice.
He was.
We should have pulled that, right?
Backhanded.
But and then you hear that he had the team look over. He goes, look over the other side. Those guys are gassed. You know, like there's a real emphasis now on how tired these other guys are, especially when they come into a game at Mile High in the fourth quarter. And just like you said, that defense, every play, it was like four guys were in the backfield at the end there. It was really remarkable.
Yeah. And I can't remember who said it. I cannot remember where I heard this. It might have been on the TV broadcast, but Sean Payton emphasizes training at altitude, and they dedicate the early portion of their offseason to nothing but strength and conditioning. And I think it's paying off at this point in the season. When other teams come into Denver, they are gassed. They already have issues playing at Mile High, but when you have a team that is much better conditioned than you are, then you're not going to stand a chance. And another thing that I thought we saw in the second half was just much better communication in the secondary. Like, there were some blown assignments there in the first half, some guys falling down. We didn't see any of that in the second half. So that just goes to show that they tightened up on their communication and their fundamentals, and they were just executing a lot better in the second half.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the big questions is, Glenn, how was your poop?
No, it was not.
Everything come out okay?
No, that was not it. I would tell you. I would
need to get some dude wipes.
I'm not Lamar. I'm not Lamar. I would be honest.
Invest in some dude wipes to help get it all out.
I walked.
Paul Pierce, are we?
I didn't do the dude wipes. Proud sponsor of the MHRT network.
All right, so we talked about the Broncos and the Packers. We've got the playoffs coming up. We got, what, 4 games left, 3 games left? What, Riley? I'm a little busy. Emma, go away. Jiminy Christmas.
See, another Riley interference.
I know, Riley and Emma just all in my face. All right, so we got 3 games left. We got the Jags, we got the Chiefs, and we got the Chargers. One of the big things playoff-wise is the Chiefs are not going to be in it. The Chiefs are officially eliminated. Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL. Was it just ACL or was it his
LCL too?
ACL and LCL.
Well, he's still a wuss. Alex Singleton tears his ACL and plays an entire game on it. My 17-year-old son tears his ACL. He goes 2 months walking around on it. He's fine. Patrick Mahomes got to get carried off the field. Wuss. Big baby.
Okay, Mike.
Now, the other cool thing is, if this is the first time since 1998 that there is not a quarterback named Manning, Brady, or Mahomes in the playoffs.
It's a great feeling, isn't it? And
unbelievable statistic.
And yeah, it's going to be one where, frankly, we should all just relish it. But I think it's goes to show you how wide open, like, just the overall playoff picture is this year.
Yeah.
But I do think there are certain teams out there, such as the Denver Broncos, that are pulling away and separating themselves. The Rams are another one. But I do agree that it is really wide open this year. Like, I think there's like 10, maybe even 12 teams that have a legit chance to win the Super Bowl this year. And that's crazy to think about.
How long is Devontae out for?
He's week to week.
next week.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
It sounded really bad, and people were freaking out. It's like I thought it was just.
Yeah, Sean McVay said it didn't look good, but I think he was more just talking about it didn't look good because they play on Thursday night. He had a hammy tweak. He re-aggravated that hammy tweak, so it's probably going to be in a couple of weeks. Maybe they shut him down until the playoffs, and he should be good to go.
He'll rub a little mild, then a little fire sauce on there from Taco Bell. He'll be good.
Hire Mr. Miyagi, you know.
We'll go talk to Aaron Rodgers and put some ayahuasca or whatever the hell that stuff is called on it.
Ayahuasca.
Go get an enema. I don't know what the heck he's gonna do. You also had the Patriots that lost, so the Broncos are now in sole possession of the number 1 seed in the AFC.
And it doesn't get the Patriots because the Baltimore Ravens at home in Baltimore, and the Ravens just had a shootout against the Cincinnati Bengals where Baltimore kind of looked like Baltimore. And so if they kind of maybe needed a tune-up game, if you will, going into New England, and they finally got one. So if I'm New England, coming from the fact that Buffalo, came back from a 21-point deficit, I would be very concerned just a little bit if I was the Patriots fans. Knowing the fact that back-to-back weeks I got to face Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson coming off of these kind of weeks. So, but I think on the flip side of this, I will say this from Buffalo's perspective, it goes to show you why Buffalo is one of the short-listed teams that I'm still worried about in the playoffs and it is solely because of Josh Allen.
Big time.
Obviously the defense is a bit skeptical. That's kind of taken a huge step back this year. But between Houston and Buffalo strictly from Josh Allen, it's one where they're terrifying.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Josh Allen is a fucking Superman. He literally does stuff that no other quarterback on this planet can do. He single-handedly willed that Bills team back to a victory. And this dude is somebody you do not want to see in the playoffs. So hopefully they stumble and we somehow don't have to face them. But realistically, at some point, I think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to be coming into Mile High, and we're going to be having a really, really big-time battle.
Yeah.
Ooh, Broncos, Patriots, AFC Championship.
How great would that be?
I don't know, man.
God.
I just nothing against them. I just don't think the Patriots are going to make it that far. I don't. I think they're going to get stopped by. They're either going to get stopped by the Texans or the Bills or us.
They're not going to have the best draw compared to us. I will say that they are not going to have the best draw compared to us in terms of playoff draw. Because I will say, as of right now, for being a 2-7 between the Patriots and the Texans, that's not a great draw at all.
No.
If on the Patriots, not a great draw.
Let's just be honest. Nobody wants to come into Mile High. It's such a tough place to play with the altitude, the crowd noise, the atmosphere. It's hard to communicate. Even good teams come in here and they run into a buzzsaw. So I don't think that there's anybody that wants to face the Broncos in the playoffs. Patriots, Bills, there's nobody that wants to come in here in playoffs.
And just over 550 no-shows now. I mean, and I expect in the next couple of games those numbers to even drop. I mean, this is a full house, loud crowd. And what was great was just the shaking. And the shaking of the stadium was happening early on in the game.
Even the broadcast too.
If you look at the breakdown right now for the playoffs, the Pats would play the Texans in the first round in the wild card.
Draw.
That's a bad draw
for them. Yeah.
So again, there's nothing against the Patriots, but do you really want to play the Texans in the first round? If anything, you'd want to play the Steelers or the Chargers or the Jags, right? But
I'm not even sure I want to play the Chargers. But if I was
the Jags,
but yeah,
I don't know. That one's tough.
Yeah, but like I said, man, if the Broncos get home field advantage, I'm willing to pick them to win 2 games at home to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, so we have some playoff clinching scenario. The Broncos have already clinched, but in order to, we actually have the opportunity to clinch the number 1 seed this week, but some things have to happen. And I don't think they all will, but the Broncos would have to beat the Jags. The Chargers would have to lose to the Cowboys. The Bills would have to lose to the Browns. That's funny. And the Patriots would have to lose to the Ravens. I don't think that happens.
But I was gonna say, like, isn't there like this scenario where everything can happen this weekend? Like everything can happen this weekend.
Yeah, there is. You can
the
get
Browns. No way.
Weekend.
But Browns, really think the Bills are gonna lose to the Browns? I mean, maybe.
Shedeur Sanders does a solid for the state of Colorado. I don't see that one, and I also don't see the Cowboys beating the Chargers.
One can hope, though.
The thing that the Cowboys have is that they're at home, and they're a much better team at home than they are on the road. And I think one of the reasons why, I mean, I don't necessarily want to play the Chargers defense, but the one thing that I will say that's going to really hold them back is that offensive line, and the Cowboys defense is getting better.
Well, specifically, the Cowboys took a shot with Quentin Williams, so I think he's out.
But just in general, like the defensive line's been playing a lot better. They've been able to get to the quarterback, and that's going to be the Chargers' major downfall and why they will never win a championship is just because of the overall injuries and them protecting Herbert. And frankly, Herbert's consistent injuries. You can say for whatever it's worth that he's this tough quarterback and whatever, but it always bites him in the butt no matter what.
Yeah. Well, and
not only the injuries of Herbert, like I just don't think he's playing well. Like they won in Kansas City, but I don't think Herbert played well in that game. They won against Philadelphia. Herbert didn't play well in that game. It's been kind of like that for the last 5 weeks or so. So we can't excuse Herbert of blame here. And when does he usually play his worst football? In the playoffs. So, yeah, man, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in the Chargers.
Yeah.
There is an interesting side note.
I haven't heard that one before. Buffalo's funny. I like that.
So these last 3 games do hold some interest in terms of Bo Nix and this record that's going on here. So most QB wins in the first 2 seasons since 1950. Russell Wilson is 24. Andrew Luck, Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Ben Roethlisberger, 22. And so at this point, they haven't had, I mean, even when Russ started, they did not have the 17-game season. So, like, in all fairness, he was doing that in
Dan Marino
2 games. Same with Marino. Marino was at 21. But where we stand right now, like Bo Nix, if he wins this week, which we certainly would hope and certainly would expect being at home, it's he'd be at 23 wins, second most in 2 seasons, and since in the last 75 years. That's pretty spectacular, and that's taking into account that he's only played 32 games at that point.
Right. Yep. And if there's one thing we are looking at when in common in terms of some of these quarterbacks, take what we feel about Russell Wilson right now, but with those are the first 2 seasons. That's prime Russell Wilson. Like that was actually like the beginning of his career and the prime of his career, where he was really, really good in winning, like going to Super Bowls and winning a Super Bowl and everything. He was fun to watch. Ben Roethlisberger was so fun to watch. Andrew Luck was so fun to watch at the beginning point of his career. So, like, that is a very elite list. And if there's one thing we know for those stupid box score watchers that are out there, if you're box score watching that, I don't know about you, but that tells me that that's some pretty good company to be in if you're Bo Nix.
Who would have thought if you score more points than your opponent, you should win? And that shows up in the box score.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you win?
Yeah, who would have thought?
Good thinking. All right, so not only can we clinch the number 1 seed, which I don't think is going to happen, we could clinch the West. All they have to do is Denver has to win and the Chargers have to lose. That happens, we clinch the West. Once we clinch the West, we don't fall below number 3.
Spence, I love you, but I have to disagree there, man. Russell Wilson from 2014 to 2020 was truly an elite quarterback.
Yeah, he was incredible.
There's a reason we were all so excited that the Broncos got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Because his history. I mean, he should have won 2 Super Bowls in a row. He manhandled, I mean, and I know the defense carried them but 43-8, you don't score 43 points strictly on defense. And I know there was a special teams. I know there was a defensive touchdown in that Broncos Super Bowl, but Russell Wilson should have had 2 Super Bowls under his belt in his first 4 years. All
right, I'll let you guys take this one.
I mean, is it his fault that he went to a good situation? No. It's not. Like it's not his fault. I mean, the coaches strictly chose.
But at the time he went to the Broncos, did he go to a good situation though?
Sure, but it's making it seem like it's a bad thing.
Weren't really great when he came to the Broncos. They got better.
Yeah, but
while he was there.
But the wording
Sean Payton.
Yeah, but like the wording to me makes it seem like it's a bad thing, and it's just like the relationship between Sean Payton and Bo Nix is great. And if there is one thing that we've been mentioning, all of us in shows here previously, is like, what is one common denominator between some of the elite coaches, head coaches, and some of the elite quarterbacks that have gone on in the NFL? Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger, or Ben Cowher and Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, you had Sean Payton and Drew Brees, Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy. Like, it's just like everything just goes on in terms of the pairings of coaches, head coaches, and their quarterbacks, and the sustainability for how long they're there.
Well, here's another example: Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan.
Well, and I think,
but think about when Bo was drafted, right? He was the 6th quarterback pick in the first 12 picks. He was considered the consolation prize. Broncos had to take him because nobody else was left, right? Broncos are entering over $80 million in dead cap over the next 2 seasons. They get rid of Russell Wilson, and they do that. Like, let's blame Sierra. I don't think he was coming into a great situation. I think we were just hoping that we could develop a quarterback over the next, just stay afloat with this dead money and just field a competitive team, because so much of our cap was going to be eaten up by a guy that we had just bounced. For Bo to be what he is as a second-year quarterback on a rookie cost-controlled contract has been absolutely invaluable, not to mention the fact that the guy wins a shit ton of games.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and I want to kind of start at the beginning and then kind of go off of what Josh just said about Tom Brady and Belichick. And Josh, I don't know what team you support, right? But we all can look at take the Broncos, right? You can look at a quarterback and compare him to another quarterback and know which one's better, right? Like, you can look at the Broncos 2016, like right after the Super Bowl, right? Still have that great defense, but Trevor Siemian was not doing it, right? Like, he was a placeholder, right? So now you have,
and Brock Osweiler wasn't going to do it if he had started that Super Bowl season too.
And that's the difference, right? Like, you look at these quarterbacks like Trevor Siemian, like Brock Osweiler, like Russell Wilson, the recent Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Case Keenum, like all these guys are good backups, right? Like, they're good quarterbacks as backups, but they're not at that high level. And when you talk about Brady and Belichick, yeah, Brady proved he didn't need Belichick after 18 years in the league, right? Like, Tom Brady had to develop and learn from somewhere, right? So Belichick was good at helping develop Tom Brady.
Mhm.
Sean Payton is good at helping develop Bo Nix, right?
And here's the
Yeah.
thing. I've got a few things I want to say here. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Big
Big
Tex.
Tex. Appreciate you, man. I got a couple of things. First of all, with Bo Nix, the perception of this player coming out of college was completely fucked up. Everybody was focusing on the age or the gimmicky scheme that he was in at the University of Oregon, when there were people like Cam and myself that were focusing early on the traits that this player had. He always has had the physical tools. He's always had the arm talent. He's always had the mobility. But we've seen it with a lot of players in the NFL. They need good coaching to unlock that talent.
Right.
Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones. I mean, you have these good quarterbacks that go to crappy situations that can't unlock their talent. Having Bo go to a good situation early, a coach that can unlock his talent early, that's not a bad thing. And Bo has gotten better and better over the course of his time in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, with the Brady Belichick thing, come on, bro. The fact that we're trying to take away from Bill, and don't get me wrong, I'm not Bill's biggest fan here, but it was a collaborative effort between Brady, who is no doubt the greatest quarterback of all time, and Bill Belichick, who, yes, is the greatest coach of all time. It was a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
And
Gage is the
hold
same.
on, wait a minute. This one, and then we'll go. None of us think that you're hating on Bo, right?
No.
Like, we don't think but we also don't think Bo is elite yet. But you can see the traits and the throws and the abilities that he has that can make him elite. There are quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, there are quarterbacks in the NFL. Like we said before, they're not going to be elite. Bo has the potential to be. That's the difference.
Joshua, what state are you in, by the way? But I mean, and Joshua's in a situation too as a Patriot fan. He's got Drake May. Yeah, I mean, their rebuilding situation was squeezed much shorter because they drafted the right guy in that draft.
Well, and if he is a Patriots fan, like, let's just put it back on him too. Like, May was not in a great situation last year. So you put it into a great situation this year, which, no, it's not a head coaching situation. It might be to an certain extent, because I think Vrabel is a phenomenal CEO type coach.
Yeah.
Right. But you still pair it with, I'm not a Josh McDaniels, supporter by any means, but McDaniels is a phenomenal coordinator. You pair that with Drake May, that is a great relationship for a young quarterback. So he could be able to start developing, right?
Yep.
So, and I think that the thing is like with Bo, to piggyback off of everything that you guys have been talking about, is like, that's what has made this so incredible for Bo, and why it's, one more time again, a quarterback from Oregon is completely misunderstood, aka Justin Herbert. It is why he is just so misunderstood. And frankly, I think Bo Nix, because of where we sit in the terms of the overall situation, the overall evaluation, and the overall evolution that we see from his game, is going to end up being better than what we've seen as time is going on than Justin Herbert. Y'all heard me. Just because the situation and everything that we're going to be seeing from the years and years as things progress, it's going to be getting better. Herbert doesn't exactly have an offensive-ish type of situation going on, with Michigan. It's everything's to be predicated on, defense and everything. And so Bo is just simply at this point that everything is going to be getting better. And at this point, when they've needed him these last 4 weeks, he has turned into an MVP candidate. Like, he has become that elite top 5 quarterback that you are seeing on a weekly basis since that Chiefs game, putting him on his back, making off-platform throws, in structure, out of structure. I mean, he has truly become an elite quarterback by our very own eyes, if you will. And I think that the more this progresses more and more, I hope the voters look at this because, yes, by season's end, I am very convinced that he will be an MVP finalist if this keeps up.
And he might actually change the way. I'm sorry, Mike. He might actually
Okay.
change the way people are assessing talent coming out of college as well. I'm talking about people like the personnel side. And Joshua, I was asking because I live in New Hampshire, so I wasn't sure if you were a neighbor or so. But it's Cam talking about his age coming out. He had 61 starts. I looked at that as a good thing. Look at some of these young guys that come out. Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance, the list goes on and on. Guys that did not get, JJ McCarthy, these guys that did not get this experience in college. And Bo got,
everything.
17 games times 3 is 51. So you got almost 4 full seasons of experience NFL on an NFL schedule in college. That is invaluable, and it shows. And I think that's really where his potential is that he's so far advanced just because of the experience that he had in college. And I think that's going to be one of the things that these scouts are going to be paying more attention to is how many starts did a guy get in college? Like, how game ready is he going to be when he comes here? Like, how experienced is he? We can't take a chance on a guy that starts 8 games in college and put him with a first round pick. We just cannot do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, and I could be wrong, but I think you kind of have to look at this like look at Drake May, look at Bo Nix, and look at Caleb Williams, right? Like, you look at Drake May and you look at Bo Nix. They're on a different level than Caleb Williams is right now.
Yes.
Now, when you look at Caleb Williams last year, trash coach, horrible coach, did not play well. Drake May, horrible coach last year. But now look at their second years, right? There's a clear difference between Drake May and Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams could be elite, maybe. I don't think so. You don't see as much out of Caleb Williams as you do of Drake May and you do of Bo Nix. So I think that's kind of where you're looking at that difference, right? That level.
6'7",
like 6'7", 8, 9. Like you're looking at like Bo Nix and wondering like, well, is he elite? Then you kind of compare him to Drake May and where he stands, and then compare him to someone of the same class, like Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake May, not on the same level right now.
Caleb Williams is so inconsistent, and he makes you want to beat your head against the wall because he's got all the physical tools in the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes like 1 or 2 plays every game where it's like, holy shit, Caleb, how did you do that? But then he makes like 2 or 3 plays a game where it's like, holy shit, Caleb, what the fuck are you doing? So it's
teenagers,
so
sorry, Josh.
inconsistent.
Got teenagers in the house. I'm sorry.
But I will say this, and
I didn't even know what 6'7" meant until last week, and I hate it.
Well, and I will say this too, and I think this is something that I think maybe even we made point, and this was right around the point that Bo was drafted, and then even around last year, and it's just like the way this draft class really is shaping up. Obviously, it's not looking great for JJ. I'm going to give somewhat of a pass just because this is like his first full year, if you will, in the NFL, and it's been a very bumpy road. Congratulations on having a really good, game against, what was it, Dallas last week. But it was just like, I will say this though, because like if you can have at least 2 quarterbacks, 2 or even 3 quarterbacks hit on a draft class, that is really good. Like that is really, really good, and really good from the perspective of they were first round draft picks. So that is pretty solid if you can be able to have that happen. And I think the other side of this too is I really do think that Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels are going to be evaluated differently when it comes to the NFL, teams when it comes to quarterbacks. And what I mean by that is I really do think they are going to be looking at situations of how old are they? Did they have a very rude upbringing when it came to their first college experience? Did they take a second college experience, and were they better, and how much better were they? And did they really take their game to the whole new level? Because I think that Nix specifically, just to talk about him, he is, I think, or should be the poster child for this, because right, he had his tumultuous time in Auburn, which frankly you could argue has made him the player that he is today, by just his overall play style, to his overall playing in structure, out of structure. Then he goes to Oregon, and he has that professional coaching with Dan Lanning, phenomenal coach with Oregon, and Kenny Dillingham, the new head coach over at Arizona State for the last couple of years. So like he gets that, and then he transfers over all of his knowledge, his coach knowledge that he has from his dad, to Dan Lanning and everything, to understanding the Oregon offense and really, performing at such a high level that he was frankly a Heisman Trophy type of candidate with Oregon, boundary national championship type performance, going to the college football playoff. And he becomes forgotten about once again. Like it's almost like the roles reversed again. He was back in Auburn and completely discriminated and completely misunderstood going into the draft process. So I just think that like he is going to be, I think, the poster child for a lot of this when it comes to misunderstood quarterbacks that maybe come from Oregon, but just misunderstood quarterbacks that are just very mobile. But do you see enough processing out of this? And frankly, the answer is yes. You see a lot of that. And that is why Bo is playing at such this top 5, top 7, maybe even top 3 quarterback level these last 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, Sean Payton talked about it when they evaluated him. Like, they stripped away all the gimmicky bullshit and just watched all of his pure NFL caliber dropbacks. And you could see that this dude had it from the get-go. And it's the same thing with Jaden Daniels. Like, I remember there were not a lot of people that were pumping up Jaden Daniels at the beginning of the draft process. I was, because I looked at the non-gimmicky plays and was like, oh, this guy could be special. He's got the physical tools. I feel like you need to be evaluating more the tools as opposed to the scheme that they're put in. And I fell trapped to this early in my evaluation career with Justin Herbert. And a lot of other evaluators did too. Like, they severely underevaluated Justin Herbert, looked at that gimmicky offense that he was in at Oregon, and never thought he was going to work at the NFL level. And don't get me wrong, we all have our qualms about Justin Herbert being inconsistent now, but he's nowhere near the Mitch Trubisky that I thought he was coming out of college, because he played in such a gimmicky, stupid offense.
Well, and I think that there's something that's being a little bit overlooked as to why Drake May and Bo Nix are going to be elite, and it's shared among the two of them, right? Like, you look at Jaden Daniels, you look at Josh Allen, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Joe Burrow, you look at all Jaden Daniels, like you look at all these elite or great quarterbacks, and they get hit a lot, and they get hurt a lot. What's one thing that Drake May and Bo Nix don't do?
They don't get hit a lot.
They don't take sacks, right? Like Jackson Dart, he's gotten blown up this year. Good quarterback. He has the opportunity to be elite, but he gets hit so much. Is he going to even be able to stay healthy? That's the same thing with Jaden Daniels. He's already hurt. He was hurt last year. He's missed some games this year. You got Michael Penix. He's hurt. He's out. Joe Burrow is basically looking at retiring or leaving Cincinnati because he gets hit so much. That's one thing that both Drake and Bo have in common that can make them elite, is they don't get hit. They're going to be available until they decide they want to retire.
You know, Drake May actually does have a ton of sacks this year, but one thing that he doesn't take, and I'll get that actual number, but one thing he doesn't, he has 43 sacks actually. But one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't take unnecessary hits in other plays. So some of those sacks may be where he just kind of crumps down, but he's not taking these straight on shots. And that's the thing about Daniels that really scares me, because I just love the guy as a talent. Is he has to change the way he's playing, or he's going to have a very, very short career. And even with Jackson Dart, you mentioned him, you know, a video of like when Gruden would meet with the college quarterbacks, you know, and sit there, you know, Gruden all of a sudden starts lecturing him about how he needs to change because he's going to, thanks, man. That Dart needs to change the way he's playing, because he's going to get hurt taking all these hits. And this was when he was a college kid. So it's like, well,
and even Scadabo's the running back. Like, I know that you're a running back, run the ball, But dude, move your head a little bit. Put your shoulder into it, not
Yeah.
your face.
Well,
Hey, can I give you another little statistic, by the way?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Bo has taken 16 sacks all season. Mac Jones has
Jeez.
taken 16. Kyler Murray 16. Spencer Rattler 18. Dylan Gabriel 18. So like these guys that have hardly
Those
played,
aren't even starters.
yes, have more sacks than Bo Nix. I'm just doing a quick look, and I don't see anybody that has played the full season that's taken more sacks. Taken less.
Where's
sacks
Shador
than
at?
us.
He's
Shador
probably
is,
down there.
Yeah.
13.
Oof.
And who's
you
the
know, there's
most?
a
By
big
the way?
difference
3
between
games?
what?
Who are the
Is he
most?
3 games or 4?
I think he's at 4 now, right?
Yeah.
This will be 4, or he just played 4,
I think he just played 4.
and he's at 13.
Yeah.
Good
So the
Lord.
number one spot. This is kind of a fun. I'm like detouring this,
Yeah.
but this is kind of a fun, a little fun trivia. So the number one spot, Joshua McDaniels, he is spying. Spying is his middle name.
It is his middle name.
Who are the 3 quarterbacks that have been sacked the most? 49 sacks each.
Caleb Williams, I'm going to say, is one of them.
Nope, he's
Oh,
he's
Landon,
at
I was
he's
just talking
he's
about
at
this.
23.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes.
Just this season, right?
Just the season, yeah. Mahomes was
Yeah.
5th at 34.
Jalen
Mays
Hurts.
No,
Oh boy.
Dak
two of
Prescott.
them are
Geno
in our
Smith.
division.
Geno Smith.
Oh,
Geno
Geno,
Smith.
duh. Yeah, that one makes complete
And
total
then
sense.
Herbert.
Herbert, Geno Smith, Herbert, and Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Okay,
that
another one.
makes
That makes complete sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
all of those are bad offensive lines, but then you've got some of these quarterbacks that take self-induced sacks. Like if Russell Wilson had started all year, I guarantee you
He'd
he
be
would
up
be at
there.
the top of that list.
Yep.
Okay, and let me
Um,
keep going here because this is important because these are guys that are looking to be in the playoffs as well. Lamar Jackson tied for 6th at 33, tied with Josh Allen, 33.
And that's
sacks.
after missing a bunch of games too.
Right. Trevor Lawrence, 32 sacks.
Huh.
Like these guys, there's going to be some tread on these, some wear on these tires. You know, like going into
Where's Jordan Love at?
Jordan Love is he was 20 in the 24th spot at 21 sacks.
Oh, that's not bad.
So none of these
No.
teams want to face off against Denver's pass rush.
No.
Okay, so I have a
Stafford at
hypothetical.
19, by the way.
I have a hypothetical for you, and this comes off of. We said his name. This comes off of a tweet from Mario that we've probably all seen. We talk about Joe Burrow. We talk about the possibility that he either retires or maybe he has to leave Cincinnati. Would you take Burrow over Nix?
Okay, listen, like I wouldn't trade Knicks for Burrow, but let's just say that we had this hypothetical sim engine scenario where we could get Joe Burrow in Denver. Sure, who wouldn't want to fucking have Joe Burrow? He's Joe Burrow.
You wouldn't trade for him though?
No, hell no. We have our franchise quarterback.
No.
We've got our guy.
But
we don't need
5
him.
years younger with less injuries, and I love Joe Burrow. I mean, Burrow and Josh Allen are my 2 favorite non-Broncos, and yeah, I think we got to ride this wave and see where we go.
No,
Okay,
I
wanna make it
completely
clear.
agree. Like, no,
Yes.
I get it. Yes, Burrow over Nix, but not if we're going to trade, right?
No, like, and that's not even a scenario that would ever potentially even possibly happen.
Right.
Like-
Well, because let's say that it's a possibility, right? Even if you wanted to trade for Burrow, you're looking 3 firsts and a player.
yes.
Like you're looking at
Yeah.
a lot. So
Like-
I get that. Like if Joe Burrow becomes a free agent, not going to happen at least for another couple years. Then maybe.
I mean,
But I get the whole Burrow over Nix, but not if we have to trade for him. I get that. That makes sense.
Well, here's the thing though. It's like it's kind of a moot conversation in Denver because we've got our guy. Bo
Yeah.
Nix is our guy.
Yeah.
There's no reason to even try to upgrade over him.
yeah,
But who wouldn't want Joe Burrow? Let's just be honest here. Who wouldn't want him?
it's just a conversation to have a conversation.
Sure.
Yeah. But
It
like
was it's something I saw from Mario. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But like for me, I mean, I'm gonna take Joe Burrow. Like it's just like because like again, we are talking about like if you put a healthy Joe Burrow behind this offensive line,
which is the best one in football, by the way,
the best one in football, like he's gonna be a good fit with Sean Payton as well. I mean, like no, he's not the like most mobile type of player. In terms of between he and Bo Nix, but he is like the probably true carbon copy and maybe just a ticks above maybe where Drew Brees is at this point in his career. So you basically are giving him almost a reincarnate version of Drew Brees. You know, so I definitely would be taking Drew Brees. Like
we sit here and say that we'd want Burrow over Nix because we have the best offensive line in football. But I think our offensive line is the best in football because of Bo Nix.
That's also very true.
Burrow is mobile, but Nix is more mobile. And the reason why he's only taken 16 sacks is because he can run out of it, right?
Yep. He was under pressure quite a bit in that Packers game, and he mitigated all that pressure. I got to be honest, I love me some Joey B, but it's not his biggest strength mitigating pressure.
Well, and I will say this too.
It was a hypothetical.
I will say this though, like is to flip this back onto Nix and the sacks and everything. I think this is the part of it too that makes me specifically, and he had always been like this, but like specific to where we are right now on this offense. Is that despite the fact that it's in structure and out of structure and him not being able to take sacks, is you have this element now where he's also starting to get the ball out like that. Like he's getting the ball out so much more quick than probably he was originally, and he was getting the ball out fast. So now the process of where things are in his processing is so sped up and it's so advanced right now that like it is actually at a Joe Burrow level. And I hate to maybe use this as a comparison, but Joe Burrow was a comparison for Bo Nix coming out of college. Like it was a comparison because there are a lot of people that mention all the games and everything. And no, he didn't come off of a national championship, but it was the processing. It was some of the mobility. I mean, like,
Bill, I'm going to put you in timeout.
And everything. Like, it was amazing to see like that kind of like comparison because it was like, oh wow, this is a comparison I really never seen. Now you're starting to see the Josh Allen comps and everything else. So I just think that like we just need to just relish the fact that we have a franchise quarterback right now with Bo Nix.
Yes.
So we're gonna move into. I want to actually break down the AFC playoffs and see who we think will make the Super Bowl. But before I do that, I do want to say Burrow is not Burrow without Chase.
I disagree with that. Burrow has always been that dude.
Okay, moving on. All right.
Even rookie year Joe Burrow, he was that dude.
I know. How did Bill take from that conversation that we want to get rid of Bo for?
No,
because he wants Stidham as the starter. That's why.
Damn you, Mario! You had to bring division amongst Broncos country.
Yeah, he wants Stidham. That's right.
Looking at the playoffs right now, if we were going to break down the games, we're going to go with how the seeding is right now. So the Broncos would have the first round bye.
Yep.
You'd have the Patriots against the Texans. Who are you taking? And somebody keep track if I forget, because I can't do that and type and talk all at the same time.
All right, hold on, I need a pen.
So Patriots, Texans, who are you taking to win that game? And chat, please comment. We'd love to get
I'm going to go Pats, and if it's in New England, I'm going Pats.
Yeah, New England. I'm probably going to go.
It would be New England.
I probably would go New England, but I'm just here to say that that's still not a great draw for the New England Patriots whatsoever. And would I be the least bit surprised if Stroud won that game, knowing the fact he already has playoff experience himself? No.
I'm actually going to take the Texans here. Defense travels well. Houston is due. I think they're going to beat the Patriots.
I think I'm going to go New England.
All right, so
I know that the Texans
New England.
Yeah, so
they're also red hot right now. FYI, the Texans are getting a little bit red hot now.
So we'll pick New England as the winner here.
I don't. I think that New England has been consistent enough through the season they can pull it off over the Texans.
Hold on.
And just
hold on.
because the Patriots lost to the Bills, that's nothing to
And
be
it
ashamed
took
of.
a fourth
it
quarter
was-
comeback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that was
Hold
a
on
hell
one
of a
second.
game.
I'm going to bring up a playoff simulator. That way we can keep track of shit a little bit easier.
Okay, cool. Because I just thought about doing this like 20 minutes ago. I was like, well, I don't have time to find anything now.
Okay, so let's see here. Wild card, we're going Patriots over Texans. Boom shakalaka.
Yes.
All right, now we've got Jags. We got Bills at Jags.
Bills.
Yeah.
Bills.
Same.
Yeah, I think we're all picking Bills there.
So I will say Bills, but this actually would be my favorite playoff game of the entire weekend because
Mhm.
I think yes, because I think that if there is a wild card pun intended, like team, it's the Jags right now. The Jags are kind of scary. Like they're a dark horse right now. Like they are. They got a little bit of a defense. Obviously, we haven't really previewed the game just yet, but like they got a defense that is rather legit. It's not on the Packers level, but like it's a solid defense. And maybe to go kind of like do a little quick preview, I think because the Broncos had their game against the Packers and what they had there, I thought was a good enough appetizer, a great appetizer for what they're going to face against the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I think that the Jags have somewhat of the same type of scheme and how they kind of get things open and everything. So with their playmakers, so I think they just do a really good job. And Liam Cohen is frankly in my top 3 for coach of the year right now. And then, in just the overall NFL coach of the year.
Yep.
Buffalo. I can't get over that.
So
Now,
we are officially going Bills,
we're
though,
going
right?
Bills.
Yes.
Now if we split 50-50, we're gonna go with whoever votes the most in the comments.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah,
that'll be
chat
the
tiebreaker. All right, so now I've got the Chargers going to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers.
Steelers.
I'm going Steelers.
Me too. I
I
don't trust the Chargers in the playoffs, and I don't trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs, especially with the bad offensive line.
I will go
Well,
Chargers.
and that's the thing, like the offensive
Right.
line against the front 7 of the Steelers. It's Steelers.
What say you, Glenn?
Yeah, I'll go Steelers as well.
All right, so Steelers wins that one. So, are we doing NFC as well, or just the AFC?
No, just AFC.
That's AFC. All right, so we go on to the next round. We have got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to New England to face off against the Patriots. Who do we got?
Steelers and Patriots.
It's Patriots. I mean, I think that's handily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
I have
Patriots.
to agree. Patriots pretty easily. So then we've got the Bills coming to Denver.
Oof.
I just don't think you
I
can
know.
vote against the Broncos at this
Denver,
point, especially
Denver.
as a home.
It would be
team.
very fitting. I would just say
We've won
very
11
fitting.
in a row. I mean, how many home games have we won? 15 in a row at this point?
Last
Like, it's
one we lost was against the Chargers last year, week 6.
I mean, how do you go against the Broncos at this point at home? You just can't.
Yeah,
I hate it.
All
but I
right,
have to
Josh
pick the
McDaniels,
Bills.
we're going for the
Whoa,
Patriots.
I have to pick the Bills because of what we talked about earlier. It's Josh Allen, man. If Josh Allen has to put that team on his back, I think he's going to do it. If there's one team that I think could come into Mile High and win, it's the Buffalo Bills. But let's just say I'm not confident in it, but I am going to say the Bills because I have to pick the more experienced team and ultimately the better quarterback.
but here's the thing: we can say experienced team all we want, but the fact is that this same Bronco team played them last year,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
so I think
They're not the same team this year, though.
they're a worse defensive team for
Yeah.
sure in Buffalo.
And that's the downfall for Buffalo is their defense. Like Sean McDermott has consistently been the downfall of that team with his subpar defenses. Does that happen here?
Yeah,
Well, and I think that what you have to look at is the Broncos offense can get in a shootout with the Bills.
Mhm.
But when it
Mhm.
comes down to the fourth quarter, is the Bills defense going to be better than the Broncos defense? And I think that's where the difference is.
That's fair.
That's where I think Denver closes it out. I'm not saying it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game, but Denver's defense is better against Buffalo's offense than Buffalo's defense is against Denver's offense.
So we're going to go ahead and say that Denver gets the dub here?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So that means we got a Patriots-Broncos AFC Championship game in
Shut
Denver.
up, Bill!
You know, it's appropriate that he has the word breakdown in his handle because he literally has a freaking breakdown every comment.
Right? Every incomplete pass, he's freaking out. Oh, we need Stidham in there now. Bo Nix isn't throwing well.
That's what happens when you're a Chargers fan, man.
Honestly.
So, Patriots-Broncos Super Bowl or AFC Championship
There
game.
it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Patriots Broncos AFC Championship.
Again, for
I
the
mean,
same
in that
reason
scenario, I
said.
have to pick the Broncos.
Yeah.
And
Same
it's
thing.
in Denver.
In Denver. Denver's got more playoff experience than the Patriots do. I mean, nobody wants to come into Mile High and play. And listen, Drake May is an elite quarterback, but can he put the team on his back to win a game to go to the Super Bowl? I don't know, especially against this Denver defense with the crowd. I have to pick the Broncos in that game.
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots have enough offensive weapons outside of Drake May and maybe Travion Henderson
Oh my gosh.
to hang
incredible.
with the Broncos, right? Like,
I mean, you got Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas. I think Denver can.
Yeah, they're
hold
solid.
their
They're
own.
better than you
We'll have J.K. Dobbins back by
No,
that point.
I'm
so-
not saying that they're terrible. I just we've faced better wide
Yeah.
receiving cores and tight end
Mhm.
cores than the Patriots. They don't really scare me.
Well,
The Patriots have better receivers than the Bills at this point.
yeah, and
I don't even know who the Bills have.
they've got a bunch of pickup football players. That's what they have.
Young Coleman,
Here,
Khalil
Keon
Shakir,
But,
Gabe
you know,
Davis is back.
Gabe Davis. Yeah.
I
Yeah, Sean Booty. That's another one for the Patriots. Booty has been playing some good
Best
football.
last name ever.
Yes.
We
Cue
gotta
it.
have
Cue
we
it,
gotta
Mike.
have Booty.
Cue it up.
Absolute booty cheeks.
Somehow we gotta have Booty tackling Bidet. There's like a
Oh,
gotta be a
yes!
Booty on the Bidet.
Yes.
Booty and
Booty on
Bidet.
bidet. We got booty on bidet. No, but I and Glenn, actually, this kind of goes back to like the point I made on altitude adjustment last week. It's just like the reason why I am riding so high a little bit with the Broncos, specifically from the home field, or just why I feel like they're probably the NFL's best team, is they're battle tested, right? Like I said that on altitude adjustment last week. Like I just think that like that is like the best thing that the Broncos have over really any team in the National Football League, because of the 11-game winning streak that they've had, is that every single game, whether it's been come from behind or wins that they've been able to push a little bit ahead and then finally win, by, one scores or whatever, they've been battle tested. There's really only a few games where you can just truly say, well, they really played down to their competition and the other team really didn't play so well either, the Jets and the Raiders game. Everything else, really, you could argue that other team gave them their best, and so the Broncos, for the most part, from start to finish, from week one to where they are now, they have been truly battle tested by the teams that have, been giving it to them. So the Broncos are, frankly, at this point, they are not the hunted, if you will. People are hunting them, right? Like people are hunting them. And so it's a complete role reversal of where we were last year. Like they are such a different team than they are last year. And it's one of the reasons why I think they're better suited to play the Bills, even though they're a dangerous team. It's why I feel like in any situation, this home field advantage is one of the best home field advantages in all of the NFL because of that.
Yep.
So who are we going with?
I'm going Broncos.
Same Broncos.
Same. All right. Broncos in the Super Bowl. Woo!
I do think we need to talk about this Jags game coming up because
That's where we're going next.
does have
But I gotta
some
say, this
potential-
exercise just really shows how important getting this home field number 1 seed is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
all this is predicated on Denver getting that number 1 seed because we've been saying it. No one wants to come to Mile High.
Yeah, and we still have that 2-game lead on the Chargers. So for now, we have to win 2 of these next 3 games to even lock it in.
No, we can. I mean, well, we do have.
I'm saying if the
scenarios.
Chargers continue to win and we continue to win, it would take 2 games before we could lock in the AFC West.
Yeah, essentially. So you can get this one locked up. Probably more realistically next week against Kansas City, as opposed to this week against Jacksonville. But still, man, as long as you take care of business in these next 2, you should be good.
Well, and I like the way that you put it last week where you were like, if there was a game to drop, the one against the Packers would have been it because they're NFC, not AFC.
Mm-hmm.
These next 3 are AFC. These are big. And maybe not the Chargers game because we might already have things locked up. But these next 3 are big.
Yeah. You can even drop Jacksonville and still be in a pretty good position because you've got that 1-game lead over the Patriots.
Exactly.
Remember, Denver's got all of the tiebreakers over the Patriots. So as long as Denver is tied with the Patriots, they will get that number 1 seed. So this Jacksonville game, you can give it. And if the Patriots lose in Baltimore, then you're in even better shape.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about the Chargers at all. They're going to stumble at some point. They've got some tough teams left on their schedule, including the Texans, I believe.
Yep, right before us.
Yep. So I'm not worried about them. And Denver should go to Kansas City and beat the living shit out of the Gardner Minshew
without Mahomes.
Yeah. So, but back to this Jaguars game, it's gonna be tough. Jacksonville's been playing some good football, but I will say they are a much worse team on the road as compared to at home.
Yep.
And that's going to be the big difference here.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun game. I mean, but and that's why I really like the fact that they played the Packers maybe, and kind of like, and it really didn't dawn on me, like, just the fact of like, once the schedule was out, but I think that when you have the Packers and then the Jags lined up back to back with one another, I thought that really lines up well for defensively for how you could be able to schematically attack, the Jaguars, I feel like, because they do use a lot of motion. They do use a lot of opportunity for you to get some players open. So, and the thing too is like Trevor Lawrence is playing really, really well right now, but also it is still Trevor Lawrence who, unlike Jordan Love, holds on to the ball a little bit too long, so where he could be able to be sacked and be, pressured and everything. So he's certainly not.
Too.
So he's certainly not a quarterback you want to sleep on, aka a Justin Herbert type, but he's one where he can, very easily throw the game away because of some misthrow or miscue or whatever. And to keep it a buck, I mean, they really haven't played a great defense really since those Texans. Right, since those Texans. So it's going to be a fun game, though. It is going to be a very fun game. I will be at that game finally. They do have a really good tight end in Brenton Strange. Very interested to kind of see how this kind of game unfolds, because knowing how petty Sean Payton can be, I've got to think that there's at least something in store with Evan Ingram, and the game that he'll have against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I do think the Broncos will take care of business against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And there's some tape here. They went up against Liam Cohen's offense last year when they played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Killed them.
Yeah, Denver's defense completely shut them down. So that does bode well as well.
Yeah, I think Denver's defense is going to give up yards and field goals. I don't think they're going to give up touchdowns.
Yep, that's what usually happens.
I think Denver's going to win, but I'm not going to give my score because I hate leaving Gage just out there with the only one not giving a score. So I think Denver will win, but I think it'll be. I wouldn't say a blowout, but it'll be closer than we think it would be.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say they win, but I'm not going to say how.
If I think the Broncos beat Jacksonville this game, but if Jacksonville has to score a touchdown, I hope it's Tim Patrick.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. That is an underrated storyline. Timmy P making his return to Denver. That's going to be an emotional one for him. I know it is, and
They're
I think
gonna
it's
put
going to be a little bit
PS2
emotional
on
for
him.
Broncos.
They
country,
got to do
too.
a video, right?
They're going to
They
put
should.
PS2 on him.
Well, and
Lock him down.
And something to monitor here is the special teams game. Not so much maybe on the Broncos side of things, but Cam Little. Cam Little has a really
that's a great one.
has a really strong leg. So I believe field what is it? The field position game is going to be a huge deal. For the Broncos and the Jags. So I would not be surprised if the Jags maybe roll the dice a little bit and they try and kick a field goal on something that you really shouldn't.
Their own 40.
No, yeah, they could be on their own 40, 45 and still be in field goal range.
Yeah, they could.
With this guy.
So like
I mean,
75-yard field goal incoming.
He's got a chance to break his own record.
So it's something to monitor. So I would not be the least bit surprised if some game is swayed because of in air quotes irresponsible choice to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
They'd have Mims standing down there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
I think the Jags get yards. I think that the Broncos need to make sure they watch out for Travis. Oh, never mind. I think they get yards and that's about it. 70-yard field goals all day. I don't think they get that close. Anything else we need to cover? I think we got it all.
When I was just gonna say on paper, they don't really. On paper, it feels like they don't really have a good wide receiver room. But just the way it gets schemed up, they have a really good room. Like Brian Thomas has been really up and down. And he's probably the one where I probably would want to put, Pat Surtain on, with Riley Moss probably on, Tim Patrick or something. And then
but they have Jacoby Myers.
And they have Jacoby Myers. Maybe you would put Moss on
PS2 on Myers. Would be my guess.
Probably would double team Myers, I would think, because he's been the guy they've been trying to get the football to recently.
Yeah.
They got a lot of dudes, though. It's kind of like this week with the Packers. Like, they don't exactly have, like, a true, clear number one dominant dude, but they've got a lot of dudes. Tim Patrick, Brian Thomas, De'Ami Brown, Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange at tight end. Travis Etienne can catch passes out of the backfield. So can Bashal Tutin. So this is going to be a really, really tough matchup. And I'm kind of glad, kind of like we were talking about, that Denver got Green Bay before Jacksonville because it was a good test. And I think it's going to be kind of a similar game plan going into this one for the Broncos.
And Jacksonville has won 6 out of their last 7. And in those games, the least amount of points that they've scored was 25.
Ooh, yeah. Denver's going to have to score some points.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like the Jags really haven't faced it until this point.
The Jags are going to have to score a lot of points?
No, just the Jags are going to have to force their way because the
I love
be better.
I love Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
And he's had some really good games against the Broncos, too.
Yes.
Yeah, he just sucked in Las Vegas because everybody does.
Even when he was in Vegas, he had good games against the Broncos.
You stop it. All right. I think that's going to about do it for us. We appreciate every single person that joined us in the chat. It's been a lively show, and I like that. There's going to be a whole lot more lively shows because I think that we're going to be making a deep run into the playoffs. So make sure you go to the MHRT Network YouTube page, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit that join button. It's got the little tiers on there that you can pick. Also, make sure you head on over to Broncos Syndicate, hosted by Gage Madrid. Hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and hit the join button there as well. It's got the tiers. We got shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the neighborhood on game days. One of our specific shows is mainly Broncos on Wednesday, hosted by Cameron Parker. So make sure you check all of that out. We greatly appreciate it. We love the Broncos. We love Broncos country. We will see you guys later. Peace.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down 'cause the